You're unmuted.
Good. Okay, I call the Ad Hoc Building Construction Committee meeting to order. And I think you're going to be the first one on the item there, Shannon. So, yeah, we'll just go ahead and kind of let you run with that. We'll fill in the gaps.
Okay, at the last meeting, the Ad Hoc Construction Committee meeting per board policy, they voted to put out a survey to let all stakeholders have a say-so in the name, the colors, and the mascot. And we've got all the results in. This time I'll let Dr. Catalano present the findings of the survey.
Thank you. So we sent the survey out Friday, January 8th, immediately after the board meeting last Thursday. The survey closed Thursday, January 14th, and we had a total of 836 responses. This slide here just shows you who those responses came from. We had 333 parent responses, 76 student responses, 131 staff member responses, 323 community member responses. And so the next slides here kind of share with you the first question, or the first feedback, was regarding the new school name. And so these slides actually show what each school shared in terms of their responses. So this slide here are responses of people who said that they were affiliated with Cedar Grove Elementary School. Cedar Grove had 35.8% of the respondents say that they would choose Red Oak Elementary as the new school name. 28.4% of the people who responded said Red Cedar Creek Elementary would be their choice. And then 32.8% of the respondents said Northern Nash. And then there were 3% who had other ideas for names that they typed into the survey in the other option. These responses are from people who responded to the survey saying they were affiliated with Red Oak Elementary School. And of these responses, we had 87.3% say that they chose Red Oak Elementary as the name of the new elementary school. Red Cedar Creek received 4.3% of the responses. Northern Nash Elementary received 4.9%, and about the same amount of other responses, 3.4%, for the Red Oak stakeholders. Swift Creek stakeholder responses. Red Oak Elementary, 72.5% of the respondents chose Red Oak Elementary as the name of the school if they were affiliated with Swift Creek. Red Cedar Creek received 7.6% of the vote. Northern Nash Elementary, 13.5%. And slightly more at Swift Creek had other as their option, 6.4%. And there were some respondents who did not choose to affiliate with a school. They were either community members or possibly from other school communities in the district. And so these other stakeholder responses, 75.7% chose Red Oak Elementary. 7.6% Red Cedar Creek, 8.3% Northern Nash Elementary, and again, a larger chunk chose other responses for 8.3% of these folks. And so the next slide, actually, Chris, if you could help me out there. There we go. So this takes all of that and just kind of gives it to you all together. So the first 4 slides were taking this information and breaking it out by school, people affiliated with certain schools. This is combining all of them. And so you'll see community members who responded. 82% chose Red Oak Elementary. Parent respondents, 11% of parents chose Northern Nash Elementary, 78% chose Red Oak Elementary. And I'll just read the top 2 here. Staff responses, 21% chose Northern Nash Elementary and 57% chose Red Oak Elementary. Student responses, 11% Northern Nash Elementary and 83% Red Oak Elementary. And you can see what the other percents were there. So in terms of the mascot, I didn't break this one out too much. It was pretty much an overwhelming Tiger Cubs received the most responses across all of the groups at 61.8%. Yes, sir.
Can I ask questions?
You can.
Sure.
Yep.
Could we go back a slide, please?
I can.
So you got that staff with those schools that's being impacted?
Well, there were some staff the Nash County staff members who were in that other group. So they may have been employees possibly at Northern or at another school, but they chose to respond to the survey.
So it wasn't the staff, that was just the schools that was impacted.
So they specifically received the survey through their principal and email, but the survey did go out on social media and on our website. So we did have other people who selected and said that they were staff members, but they were not affiliated with Cedar Grove, Swift Creek, or Red Oak.
Would that have been that 9%?
Yes. So this slide right here are those people, and there were some staff members in this group. Does that make sense? Yep. Any other questions about the school name before I move on to the mascot? I apologize for not pausing. Okay, we'll go on to the next. Here's my clicker's not working for some reason. Okay. So again, 61.8% of the respondents chose Tiger Cubs. The next largest slice of the pie was 14.3%, and that was Bears that was selected. And then there were a lot of kind of write-in different options. There were several that wrote in Little Knights. Not a huge number, but that did come up in the other response there. And the last question in the survey was actually an open-ended question. And so people were able to type in a response to this question. And so we didn't have the same kind of numbers that we had for the other questions. I did try to go back and see if I could do that, but that was a lot of work and math on my part. So with 800 and some odd responses. So this is just, I took all of them and dumped them into a word cloud to see which words came up most. And so this is kind of all of those words that came out. In reading through a lot of those responses, a lot of people didn't say a specific color, but instead what they said is they would like the colors to match Red Oak Middle and Northern Nash High School. And so you'll see blue has come up here, orange has come up, red came up, but I think that may be a lot of people were saying Red Oak, and so they weren't referring to a color, but when I dumped it in there, that's what came up there. The green, I guess you can't see it, it's over there on the side, and then gold was another. So just as kind of a, just to get the conversation started, I kind of did some combinations of what potentially if we merged the Northern Nash colors and the Red Oak Middle colors, we could do combinations of blue and gold or orange and green, or blue and green. And that would kind of keep both of those schools in that, in their branding and school colors. Those are the responses. Are there any questions?
No questions? So per policy, the superintendent makes a recommendation to the board at, I would assume, in the February meeting. So the committee at this point, committee members discuss these findings, and we can offer a recommendation to the superintendent to bring forward to the board. So let's start with discussion about the school name. Obviously, we see that Red Oak Elementary was predominantly the chosen school name. Any comments? Or do you want to move forward with a recommendation to the superintendent for Red Oak Elementary? Not everybody at once.
Motion we move forward with a recommendation to the superintendent.
Motion by Mr. Jenkins to move forward with a recommendation of Red Oak Elementary, seconded by Mr. Lamb. And I guess since how we are virtual for Ms. Sarita, do you need a roll call? Just correct. So I'll just start going around the room with Mr. Jenkins.
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Lamb?
Yes.
Myself, yes. And Ms. Chavis
Yes.
and Ms. Bullock.
Yes.
Bullock. That would be your committee members. Motion carries. Next item would be to discuss the school mascot. Any discussion on that? And remember, what we're looking for is, I mean, part of me says, wow, I'd kind of like to have the school to make that decision, but due to construction, trying to incorporate that into construction with the colors and the mascot, we're kind of having to move forward and do this a little bit out of the ordinary of what we would normally do. So I hope we make a good decision here, but majority of the people, we based it off the Cubs. I think I don't remember, was it 60, like 60-some%, Carolina, went with the Tiger Cubs. So pardon me?
61.8.
61.8, right at 62% went with the Tiger Cubs, in tune with the middle school being the Cubs. Motion to go with that?
I make the motion to go with the Tiger Cubs as the mascot.
Motion by Mr. Second by Ms. Chavis. Take a vote.
Yes.
Mr.
Yes.
Jenkins, yes. Mr. Lamb, yes. Me, yes.
Yes.
Ms. Chavis, yes. Ms. S. Bullock.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries unanimously. Third and final item would be the school colors. I'm gonna be quiet. Yeah.
Bring that slide back up. will you?
Yeah, so we don't have any hard concrete numbers there. There's no way to probably work that out to give you some good hard numbers. You wanna kind of add to that, Ms. Carolina?
Yeah. So one of the things that word cloud kind of pulled out, I just put the color words in, but there were a lot of people who didn't suggest a color, who just had a comment to, and like I said, most of them were align it to Red Oak and Northern, Red Oak Middle and Northern Nash. There were a few who said a combination of the two schools, or all of the three schools, and I believe that is yellow, blue, and blue are what the colors of those schools are.
So let's call it Red Oak.
Red Oak Elementary.
Middle.
Red Oak Middle is orange and blue.
So what, and that's, and Mr. Sharp, like you said, I'm thinking on a kind of a expense side of it. So if I bought orange and blue as the elementary and I'm going from fifth to sixth grade, I may have some orange and blue that I can carry with me, hand me down, whatever, hand me up, hand me down, hand me sideways, hand it away, just do something with it. Like I say, this is the hardest part for me because this is.
Isn't that the color that the school uniforms have to be at Red Oak Middle?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That would be.
That's why I
another
was
plus.
saying that's another plus with some school colors and things. I'm just open for some conversation from anybody.
I agree with you.
Like a blue and orange is what the middle school is.
I like the blue and the purple. I mean, blue and the gold.
The blue and gold.
Right, and that one would combine northern green and gold
Sure.
with blue and gold, or blue and orange.
That would be a good uniform pattern too.
Mm-hmm.
You have your dark and your lighter color.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking of Syracuse.
I like red and gray for Ohio State myself, but that's-
Sound like a,
yeah.
sound like a good combination.
I'm open for a suggestion.
I'll make a motion that we go with the blue and gold
Second.
colors.
Okay, Mr.
Second.
Lamb makes a motion for blue and gold.
Question.
Second.
Second by Ms. Chavis.
Yes.
Mr. Sharp has a question.
Yeah, I'm not on the committee, but is there a specific, like a royal blue or just any blue?
That looks like a navy.
Yeah, Red Oak is it's a royal blue, yeah.
Because blue could come in many
Yeah, there's
shades.
many shades of blue.
Yeah.
Like a royal blue and a gold. Is that what we're saying?
That's good.
Okay. Good question. Good catch. Any other questions? Okay, so we have a motion, a first and a second. So take a vote, Mr. Jenkins.
Yes.
Mr. Lamb, me, yes. Ms. Chavis,
Yes.
Ms. S. Bullock.
Yes.
All right. That is all three items on that. Anybody have anything else they want to question or add before we adjourn?
I just got a comment.
Go ahead.
I think, Ms. Carolina, you guys have a tremendous amount of support from the community, from the numbers I'm seeing and the collaboration. So that speaks volumes as far as what the efforts going forth, getting forth the engagement of the community.
All right. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, as soon as we can. So you can put that together for a vote at the February meeting, Ms. Dodrell. Okay. No further business. Entertain a motion, we adjourn the committee meeting.
Make a motion we adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Lamb, second by Mr. Jenkins. Anyone opposed? All right, motion carries. We are adjourned.
We're gold and it's good us.
These were separate Zoom links, so for